Spider-Man just recently did its run at the box office again, featuring the Raimi films, the TASM films, and of course the MCU trilogy, not the like Avengers film that features Spider-Man or anything like that, because that would be Marvel Studios re-release and Disney, and they weren't a part of it because Sony distribution, right? So a pattern emerged that, hey, look, the Raimi trilogy made the most money, surprising no one. The TASM trilogy made the second amount of most money, again, surprising no one. And the Holland trilogy, or duology for TASM, and then the trilogy with Holland made the least amount of money. And I made an argument that, well, people aren't showing up for the Amazing Spider Man, so why would Sony be dumb to make a TASM 3, right? But then
Yeah,
people are like,
yeah.
well, why would they be stupid to make a fourth Holland film? Because clearly, by your logic, I'm like, that's not what anybody's saying. Amazing Spider Man at least has some nostalgia. Like the last film came out 9 years ago or something, right? There's a little bit of a, hey,
2014, wasn't it? Or was it like 2012?
2014, 2015. Yeah. 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 So, okay. So, like a decade ago, right? Like the Holland films aren't nostalgic. There's nobody that looks back at, like Spider-Man Far From Home and goes, "Man, I forgot what that was like. I want to experience it again." It's like, no, we remember that vividly. It's like it happened within a couple of
5 years.
years. Yeah, like it's why would I want to go to see that? Like out of all these, I was gonna see if I could have, probably, yeah, honestly, the first five. I would not have watched the MCU stuff in theaters because it's like it's so recent and new. Like kind of like episode one, how recently re-released and made like eight,
Mm.
9 million or something. If you were to re-release any of the recent Star Wars, they wouldn't make that much money, and people would go, "It's
No,
because they're
no.
bad." No, it's because nostalgia. Like, you know?
Yeah, you expect the older ones to make more because guess what? People didn't not everyone saw those movies.
Right. Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
the 2-year-olds that gained full sentience in the time between then and now, uh, didn't see them or don't remember seeing them the first time around. So guess what? They wanna go see
Uh-huh.
them.
So,
That's how re-releases work.
like, I have friends who have children who their Spider-Man was the Amazing Spider-Man. That was their, prime ones.
That's
That's
unfortunate.
the oh, I know, but
Mm.
that's the only ones their kids went and saw in theaters. They didn't want to see anything. They just wanted to see the one they saw when they were 7, 8, 9 years old. Just like you see influencers on YouTube, and I saw a couple of them post on like social media being like, I am so happy I got to experience the best Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3. And then they tell you this story about how their parents took them. I'm like, yeah, because nostalgia.
Mm,
Like,
mm.
it doesn't mean the MCU Spider-Man is a failure. On the contrary, it's the most successful Spider-Man film franchise with the best merchandise sales and money. But why would I go pay $22 to watch Spider-Man No Way Home when I can remember vividly watching it like 4 times in theaters 2 years ago or whatever? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's uh people are crazy. So does this, do you think, spell any type of disaster for MCU Spider-Man like some people are
No,
insinuating?
no.
Oh, I think you're just being a shilly mouse.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
What's a shield if you don't get paid for it?
I don't know.
Hypothetically
Um,
speaking, though, 'cause obviously I get paid for it.
yeah. Well, did you see that controversy with the YouTubers that were selling that, like, hey, if you invest in this thing, they double your money. It's so cool, and you get to play games, and it's like gambling. And they won't actually let you take out any money you invested or made, so it's just stuck in the ecosystem. And like
Oh, nice, nice.
all the YouTubers you could think of, like, um, I don't know who's the one everybody likes with the long hair, the multiple. I don't know.
Moist Critical, I
I
think.
don't know. It's a bunch of people. Like it's
Yeah.
just
There's a
I
penguin guy, I think, as
I
well.
I
I
don't
think. I
follow
don't know.
YouTubers, so I don't know. But
Uh,
it's kind of like that. It's
no,
like,
it,
guys, come on.
you're it's the same person. Like things you
Oh,
don't want. Yeah, it's his YouTube channel, but he calls himself Morse Critical.
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know any of these
thing.
people, but it's like, guys, take the success of things at a different level for everything, because
I mean, he's
You know.
pretty successful. He has his own esports team. That
Oh, that's cool. I don't know what esports games are played these days. Is there?
Who
Oh my
still
god,
does esports?
it's just in general.
guys, can we start a Spider-Man esport where you got to show us how sick you are swinging in Marvel Spider-Man 2 because
I
it's all
can't think of
automated?
anything more boring than that.
But look at what
No,
2,000
no.
hours of Spider-Man looks like, Mitch.
I saw one of those videos. When did the second game come out? Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of the
Yeah,
videos then, and then that was enough for me. I saw them all, literally right there and then. I saw every single one of those videos.
Yeah, and it's just them. Was it animation canceling? That's all it was, and it doesn't look.
I
any
love the
fun.
ones that people are like, this is how you're meant to swing. I spent 8,000 hours perfecting this. Hold forward, hold swing, and Spider-Man does everything. I'm like, wow, this is...
The only like legitimately good ones are where they thread the needle and it's absolutely stupid.
That...
And you can tell they're shocked because they stopped doing like animations and stuff. They actually just stopped doing everything. They kind of like float there for a second. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How did they just do that? They're the only good videos of swinging.
And also, the swinging videos where they show you they took off all the assistants. That's kind of cool because you're like, oh my god, like if you can swing like he does with all the assistants without it, because it's like physics based and you got to really be, I mean, you got to know what you're doing. That's kind of cool. But still, even though it's like, yep, that's Spider-Man fan base, all right.
Just like, oh yeah, I literally forget that game came out because they haven't updated anything to it since it came out.
Yeah, there was the time they patched the developer mode in, and they're like, please don't ruin your game or your save by messing with it.
Have they even announced the DLC for that game yet?
No.
Not yet.
Christ, what are they doing?